Emre, tell me a little bit about your startup. What are you working on?
Of course. So we initially started as a stablecoin issuer about 2.5 years ago. But now things got a little bit competitive. So we decided to focus more on the stablecoin technologies, specifically around yield.
And so, what specifically are you looking at working on here at the Build Day in London?
Yeah, so I'm looking at, so we use Privy, which is a company owned by Stripe. So we're using all of our policy engine on Privy. We're a big fan of Privy. We've been using it for our other products as well. So initially, want to build on top of Privy, and now we have very close relationships with them.
Interesting. And can you tell me a little bit about your tech stack?
Of course. So we are trying to build it in the open, and then we're building it as a non-custodial product. So essentially, it's a router where people can use us to find the optimal yields in decentralized finance. And then we're currently really focused on a new chain called HyperEVM.
And what's some of the things that's sort of interesting or challenging about running a startup here in the UK?
Obviously, UK is not a really, crypto-friendly a place to build it. So it's, challenging in many ways. For example, initially when we started the company about 2.5 years ago, it was really difficult to open a bank account, which is of all things. You need funding, you need a bank account to fund your account. I think from a developer perspective, it's not really open like in the US or in Singapore or in Asia, for instance. So I feel like it's more like siloed. There's lots of builders, but they're not really, connecting with each other.
And were there any surprises that you found, things that you maybe didn't expect about the market fit when you started building?
Yeah, so the problem we had was we were building in like cutting edge at the time, and it was the basically from a crypto market point of view, it was the depth of the bear market. So it was really hard to find funding. It was really hard to get things started. Also from a regulatory point of view, regulation wasn't there. So we were trying to find the right place to kickstart the business, which took us months and months to build. Now that with the Genius Act in the US and with more regulatory clarity in the EU and in other markets, it's much easier now.
Can you speak a bit to how the Genius Act and how stablecoins is a sort of interesting area for you that you're working in?
Yeah, absolutely. So we think that there's been obviously a lot of bad actors in the past, but the technology is here to stay, and it's a game-changing technology, especially from companies like Stripe. It's cheaper, faster, open access. It's completely composable, so easier for developers to build on top of it. I think Genius Act and also other regulatory clarity in other markets made it easy and basically opened it up to good actors who are willing to build on top of it. So I feel like it's opening up the space more and more, making it more legitimized, and then companies like Stripe, for instance, or others are moving into the space and then making it easier for others to build, which is amazing for companies like ours.
And why do you think stablecoin in particular is a sort of special or interesting currency to start using for crypto?
Obviously, you don't take the token risk. The price doesn't change. It's very fast to transfer using the blockchain because it's extremely cheap compared to, legacy systems like Swift or, correspondent banks, etc. And US dollar is the global currency, obviously. There's also other currencies coming up, like there's Euro stable coins now in Korea. There is won stable coins hopefully coming. So I feel like it's going to be, the global settlement layer for everyone to transact in these currencies. So.
Do you think we'll see corporations launching their own stablecoins?
They're already doing that.
Okay, and so where can people go to learn more about what you're building?
Yeah, so they can go to rosetta.sh for our new product, or parabol.fi for our first product.
Emre, thanks very much for speaking to us.